Listen me, I can DJ and keep the crowd alive. That's why me want me here car. Me no here play a hater. Calm down.
Welcome back, Wagwan Buzzers. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if it's your first time, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified when I upload a new exclusive video content. Alright, so guess what, Buzzers? Wagwan, no, good morning, bless up to each and every one, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the evening, whether it's in the night. Just bless up and stay safe. You see me? Right now to Wagwan, all these rains and all these flooding, all my people, me are begging you to stay safe. You see me? January start 2020 is just a rough time for Jamaica right now, me I tell you. You see me? But anyway, remember to like up the video, you know. That way now, it can help with the YouTube algorithm, you see me? So the videos can be suggested to other people. And also remember to subscribe if you're not subscribers yet. And turn on that post notification bell. Detectives in Westmoreland are seeking your help to find two suspects following an ongoing investigation into a double murder and wounding with intent on September 30. They are Andre Hines, First Image, and Brandon Awan. The second, the incident occurred on Hudson Street, Westmoreland about 6:55 p.m. when the suspects allegedly entered a shop and opened gunfire, hitting three persons, two of whom which succumbed to injuries. The men are urged to turn themselves in by midday on Wednesday, November 4th. Anyone knowing their whereabouts is asked to contact the Savannah Mar Police at 876-955-2758. Crime Stop at 311 or Police 119 emergency. Now the St. James Police are maintaining a strong presence in the Cambridge community after 4 persons were shot at a candlelight vigil last Saturday. According to police reports, about 11 p.m., 2 gunmen opened fire on a group of community members. Boy, I saw no go on. Them gunmen are going too bad, you know. Anyway, when the police reached the location, 4 persons were discovered suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital. 3 motor vehicles were also damaged by bullets. The vigil was being held for Jevoy Sparks of Duckett's Road in the community, who died on October 15 after complaining of feeling ill. A resident said that about 3 p.m. on the day Jevoy died, he was at home with his mother and other children, where he ate a piece of bread and drank a bag juice. Later that evening, about 5 o'clock, Jevoy did in the house play a video game when an ice cream man passed through, and the mother buy ice cream for him and some other pitney over the house. The resident said shortly after that, him tell him mother that him not feel so well, and she tell him to go lie down. But everything turned upside down when one of the pitney them come to the mother and said him lay down on the bed with him mouth wide open, and him now move. The mother raised an alarm, and she and other family members took Jevoy to the Corner Regional Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police said they are searching for 2 persons of interest in connection with the shooting. But anyway, Buzzers, make we reason a little bit. See, this one just look funny, you know. Well, big up all mothers and big up all the real mothers out there. But this one, boy, it look away. The youth just eat piece of bread, see, and drink some juice. Later on after that, his mother buy them ice cream and things. Seeing him saying no feel good, then his mother send him go lay down. As a concerned mother, you would try to take your child to the hospital to get further checks and see what's wrong. You send you gone back and lay down. Tell me now, Buzzers, what do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think of this news. $5 million drug bust in Portland after car crash. Ganja with a street value of more than $5 million was seized by police in Buff Bay, Portland yesterday morning from a motor car that was involved in a 2-vehicle crash. Police assigned to the Portland Division Operational Support Team were on patrol on St. George Street in the town when about 7:30 a.m. they were signaled by a cop to stop. The cop drew their attention to a crash involving a grey Nissan AD wagon and a white Toyota Probox and told them he suspected that there might be drugs in the Nissan. The vehicle was searched and according to the police, 26 large parcels containing ganja weighing approximately 1,300 pounds with an estimated street value of $5.2 million were found. The police said the driver of the Nissan, 37-year-old Jermaine Jones, a taxi operator who lives at Bellevue Housing Scheme in Southfield, St. Elizabeth, was arrested and will be charged with possession, dealing, transporting and taking steps to export ganja. Flash flood watch remains in effect until Tuesday evening. The flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas has been continued for Jamaica until 5 p.m. on Tuesday. A flash flood warning means flooding has been reported or could occur shortly. Persons are being urged to take precautionary measures and pay keen attention to releases from the Met Service. The Met Service reports that an induced through associated Hurricane Eta across Jamaica will see the outer bands of slow-moving Eta continue to produce periods of rainfall and thunderstorms across the island, with gusty winds along coastal areas for the next few days. According to the Met Service, Hurricane Eta is close to making landfall over northeastern Nigeria as a Category 4 system. The current projection is that the system will weaken over Central America but re-enter the Caribbean, strengthening and approach Central Cuba on the weekend, and Jamaica must remain watchful. Cruise ships set to sail again. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says the decision by the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) to lift its no-sail order for ships in U.S. ports is a step in the right direction. Bartlett said the decision is a win for Jamaica and other Caribbean cruise-dependent nations. This is a win for the cruise industry, which has been basically paralyzed since Operation ceased back in March amid COVID-19 outbreaks at sea, the minister said. There are, however, strict conditions that both the cruise lines and their island partners, including Jamaica, will have to follow. Just like how the hotels have had to put in their set of protocols, the cruise sector will also have to meet certain requirements to protect passengers and staff and also their destination of travel, he said. The tourism minister said that the CDC has put the onus on cruise companies to prove that their COVID protocols are working, with specific testing requirements and trials runs before passengers can return. In addition, operators will have to enter into written agreements with landside medical facilities to treat any affected persons. Minister Bartlett said that cruise shipping is an integral part of the local economy.